Welcome back to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today we're really zoning in on just one chapter, but a really significant one, Deuteronomy chapter 13.
Yeah, it's pretty intense stuff. The core theme is all about how the community should deal with anyone really trying to lead them astray from worshiping the Lord.
Exactly, towards, other gods. And the instructions laid out are, well, they're incredibly specific and frankly, really quite severe. Let's get into it.
Okay, so what jumps out immediately is that it's not just some vague warning. It actually breaks down different scenarios, different kinds of people, different situations.
Right.
It kicks off with figures who might have some influence, like prophets or maybe people interpreting dreams, and it even considers the possibility they perform some kind of sign or wonder.
And crucially, a sign or wonder that actually happens. It seems like validation.
Exactly, it seems like proof. But then comes the real test, according to the text.
Mhm.
If that person, despite the miracle, says, hey, let's go follow these other gods.
Then the command is absolute, don't listen, full stop.
Right. The text frames it explicitly, saying this is actually God testing them,
Yeah.
testing if their love and commitment are real, with their whole heart and soul.
So the miracle itself isn't the deciding factor, it's the message.
Precisely. And if they advocate for other gods, if they fail that test, the consequence described is final.
Yeah.
They are to be put to death. The text says it's because they preached rebellion, trying to pull people off the commanded path. It's about purging that perceived evil from the community.
Wow. Okay, so that's the public figure, but then the chapter shifts, right? It gets much more personal.
It really does. It brings it right into the inner circle. What if it's your brother, your son, your daughter, your wife even, or like your closest friend?
Someone you trust implicitly.
Exactly. What if they secretly try to entice you, pull you towards worshiping other gods?
That raises such a difficult question about loyalty, family versus faith, essentially.
And the text is completely unflinching here. It says, you must not yield, don't listen, show no pity, don't spare them, don't shield them, nothing.
It's snark. Theological loyalty trumps even the deepest personal bonds.
Absolutely. And the action required, it's just as severe.
You have to put them to death. And there's that chilling detail.
Your hand must be the first. Then the rest of the community joins in stoning them.
And the reason given is so direct, because they tried to turn you away.
And the intended effect is broader, so that everyone hears about it, is afraid, and nobody tries such a thing again. It's a deterrent.
A very personal act with a very public, community-wide purpose. So it escalates from the prophet to the family member.
And then it scales up again to the level of an entire town.
Right, the scenario where, wicked men manage to lead a whole town astray into worshiping other gods.
If there's even a report of this happening, the text says you have to investigate thoroughly, really probe, make absolutely sure this detestable thing actually occurred.
Due process, in a way. But if it is confirmed,
then it's total destruction. Annihilation. Everyone in the town put to the sword, people and livestock.
And all the possessions.
Gathered in the square, and the entire town, plus all its wealth, burned completely. As a whole burnt offering to God. That term itself implies absolute dedication to destruction. Nothing left.
Nothing. It says the town should remain a ruin forever, never rebuilt.
Yeah. And again, there's a rationale provided in the text. Don't keep anything that was dedicated to destruction. By doing this, God's anger will supposedly turn away, and instead, he'll show mercy and allow the community to grow, fulfilling earlier promises.
It really underscores how profoundly dangerous this kind of deviation was seen to be, an existential threat requiring complete removal.
And all these actions, whether it's the prophet, the family member, or the whole city, they're all tied back to this core idea of obedience. Doing what the text says is right in God's eyes.
So looking across these different levels, individual, family, community, the response is consistently severe, aimed at purging perceived evil and maintaining absolute fidelity.
That's the consistent thread. Purity, loyalty to the covenant, and securing divine blessing through radical obedience.
Okay, so what does this all mean when we step back? This deep dive into Deuteronomy 13 shows us this ancient framework where straying from the central faith commitment was viewed as the ultimate crime.
Punishable by the most extreme measures, applied across the board from influential figures to the closest relatives, even entire towns.
It really highlights this intense focus on absolute fidelity, on defining the community by purging what it saw as evil or threatening. And thinking about the logic here, the commands, It kind of pushes you to think about the high stakes that belief systems and community identity have often carried, hasn't it, across different times and places.
Absolutely. Where deviation isn't just disagreement, but seen as a fundamental threat, sometimes leading to, well, drastic actions to protect the group's identity.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it, about how communities define who's in and who's out, what crosses the line into unforgivable territory, and the kinds of consequences that follow, both in this ancient text and perhaps in how groups operate even today. Lots to think about.